Now we are moving on to the next area. So the questions related to these exemptions, concept drills, I asked you to try that we will discuss in the afternoon, because again these exemptions is connected to charge under CGST, that is RCM. Whenever we are discussing RCM, again these exemptions will be connected. For that reason, let's complete that also. So please take segment number 3, liability to pay GST. Segment number 3, liability to pay GST. Page number 30. Page number 30. See that generally who will pay GST to government? Supplier. But there are 3 cases where a person other than supplier will pay GST to government. That is given in 9 subsection 3, 9 subsection 4 and 9 subsection 5. In case of 9 subsection 3, there are some notified goods and notified services. Big list of goods and services given. In that case, recipient will be liable to pay GST. In case of 9 subsection 4, there is a promoter or builder who is purchasing goods from an unregistered person, cement, bricks, building material, etc. from an unregistered person, then they need to pay GST under RCM. And finally, services through e-commerce operator, notified services through e-commerce operator, liability to pay GST is on e-commerce operator. If you observe in these 3, 9.3, so recipient will pay GST to government. 9.4 also, recipient only will pay GST to government. 9.5, e-commerce operator will pay GST to government. So these 3 are exceptions to the general rule that supplier will pay GST to government. You can read this first paragraph. As per section 9.1 and 9.2 of CGST Act, usually the liability to pay GST to government is on supplier, on supply of all goods or services other than alcoholic liquor for human consumption and certain petroleum products. We know that, correct? And however, as per section 9.3, 9.4 and 9.5, liability to pay GST to government is on a person other than supplier, other than supplier. Who is that other than supplier? In case of 9.3, who will pay GST? Recipient. 9.4, who will pay GST? Recipient. 9.5, who will pay GST? E-commerce operator will pay GST. Got it? And so what is that 9.3? There are some notified goods and notified services on which recipient will pay GST, but this goods is not in syllabus, which you will be learning at CA final level. But we have list of services which are covered under RCM. What is the notification number? I told you long back, I told you to remember notification number 13 of 2017. Exemptions are in notification 12 of 2017, and list of service under RCM is in notification 13 of 2017. Okay, so this notification 13 of 2017 gives some list of services, and we will see that list of services and then come back to this table. So this table is like a summary which we will see little later. So complete everything and then come back to this, but look into some special points in this regard. What is the maximum rate of GST? 40%, but the effective maximum rate is 28%. Means they can go up to 40%, but right now they are levying maximum 28% only. They can go up to 40. That is the meaning of this. Maximum rate of GST 40, CGST 20, SGST 20. Generally, GST payable to government by supplier. Therefore, if a supply is not covered in 9.3, 9.4, 9.5, then the balancing figure is what? FCM, correct? Then this is one important point. If a supply is covered under RCM, means who will pay GST to government? Recipient. You are my recipient, I am your supplier. Actually you should pay GST, but I am paying the GST on behalf of you. Actually you should pay, but the supplier paid. Does it mean the recipient is relieved from payment of GST? No. Recipient is not relieved from payment of GST. Recipient should pay GST along with interest, because you did not pay on time na, so you need to pay along with interest. But whatever GST I paid is like excess payment of GST or wrong GST paid, which I can get as a refund. Is it clear or not? The moment if the transaction is covered under RCM, unless they have given an option of FCM. What is that option of FCM? In our last class discussion, I told you GTA has 2 options. Either they can pay GST under FCM or RCM. Unless that option is given, if it is covered under RCM, always recipient only will pay GST under RCM. Okay, just because supplier paid, will the recipient be relieved? No. So see that, read that point. If a supply is covered under RCM, recipient is not exonerated. Exonerated means relieved. Exonerated means relieved from payment of GST if the supplier discharges the liability. In such case, what will happen? Recovery of tax can be initiated by department on recipient for non-payment of GST. Then this point also, yesterday while solving one question, I told you that for payment of GST under RCM, we cannot use our credit ledger balance. Always we have to make payment by cash. GST under RCM is always payable using electronic cash ledger. Got it? Then look into the next page. Now we need to understand the list of services which are covered under RCM notification 13 of 2017. In this, see the list of services. Sir, CG got salads. So there is like few amendments in this place, but otherwise majorly it is the same. Sir, CG got salads. Yes for. Now you need to first make an effort to remember what is the mnemonic, because in exam what happens, you will get a situation. That situation when you read, if it comes in Sir, CG got salads, then it is RCM. Otherwise it is not RCM. Is it clear? So that's why mnemonic you need to remember. What is yes? Read there. Yes is what? Security lending as per SEBI by lender of securities to borrower of securities. There will be one person who will lend the securities. Another person will borrow the securities, for which there will be a lending fees. On that lending fees, the borrower will pay GST. Is it clear or not? And second one, and 1 second, why security lending is not excluded from supply? Because securities are neither goods nor services. We are not talking about sale of securities. We are talking about lending of securities. Then look into next one, I for import of services. And in case of import of service also, we know that recipient will pay. R for renting of motor vehicles. That also yesterday I told you renting of motor vehicles is in RCM. Then next, renting of immovable property, both residential and commercial. And next, sir, yes for security lending, I for import of services, R for renting of motor vehicles, another R for renting of immovable property. Okay, sir, CG, C for copyright services. Copyright means what? Temporary transfer of IPR. That is copyright services. And next, G for GTA services. That is goods transport agency services. So, sir, CG, GOT, got. That is G for government services to business entities. And next, O for overseeing committee to RBI. RBI will be appointing a committee for restructuring the non-performing assets. That committee is called as overseeing committee. So that is also providing service to RBI. RBI will pay GST. So that is this GOT. G for government services to business entities. O for overseeing committee to RBI. T for, yesterday we discussed last, TDR, FSI and long-term lease, given by whom? Landowner to the promoter or builder. Then next, sir, CG got. So yes for, first yes for security lending, I import of services, R renting of motor vehicles, another R renting of immovable property, C copyright services, G GTA services. Next, GOT government services to business entities, O overseeing committee services to RBI, T TDR, FSI and long-term lease. And next, salads, S for sponsorship services, A for agents. There are some specified agents, that agents services. Then L and A. L for legal service, by whom? By individual advocate or firm of advocate. Next one, A, arbitrator services. And then we have DS, last two, DS. D for director services to company or body corporate. Last, yes, security agency services. Security agency means manpower agency, which will supply the security personnel. Okay, so security agency services to a registered person. Now, sir, CG got salads. So that salads alone, you tell me once. S for sponsorship, A for agents, L for legal service by individual advocate or firm of advocate, A for arbitrator services, D for director services to company or body corporate, last is security agency services. So this Sir CG got salads. If you read a question, if it is coming in this list, no doubt it is in RCM, okay, and therefore you need to analyze it. Be careful, because almost every attempt there will be questions touching this also, okay. You cannot imagine a question paper without this. And what is that list of service under RCM? We understood that list now. Now the detailed provisions we need to remember one by one. We need to connect this with exemptions, and we need to connect this with conditions for RCM and non-applicability of RCM. See the heading. First, service. Such service we understood. Next, exemptions. What are all the exemptions to it? Thereafter, what is the condition for RCM? That is, to come under RCM, what are the conditions? Thereafter, is there any exception? So in exceptional cases, it will not come under RCM. So already we made almost all this discussion in exemptions chapter. We are now connecting everything, okay. First, security lending services. In security lending services, do we have any exemption learnt in exemption chapter? We just now completed exemption chapter. We have learnt any exemption? So no exemption. Any condition for RCM? No. Any non-applicability of RCM? No. That's it. Over. Security lending services. Got it? Who is supplier? Lender of securities. Who is recipient? Borrower of securities. What is the consideration? Lending fee. So borrower will pay GST. Understood here? Next, second, import of services. Now, don't look at that. Import of services, we learnt already some exemptions. What are the exemptions we learnt for import of service? Two exemptions I told you. Other than OIDR by NTR, non-taxable recipient. Number two, Indian establishment of a foreign airline company importing service from its head office without consideration, where Minister of Civil Aviation specifies that there is a reciprocal exemption. Correct? We studied that. That only I gave reference here. You can see there. Import of services other than OIDR by non-taxable recipient, and import of service by Indian establishment of foreign airline company without consideration. Got it? These 2 points. What is the meaning of OIDR? What is the meaning of non-taxable recipient? Everything we already discussed, but this is just a connection to that. Okay. Next, do we have any condition for RCM? No, we don't have any condition for RCM. Any non-applicability of RCM? Don't see there. You tell me, what is the one place? Generally, import of service is RCM, but I told you one place it will come under FCM. What is that? Import of OIDR services by NTOR, non-taxable online recipient. You understood? So that's what. Yesterday's class, if you have missed today's class, nothing you will understand in this. Got it? And that's how I connected exemptions to RCM. So you understood import of services. Respond here. Nothing you are learning new. Already whatever you have learned, that we are just connecting one by one. Got it? Then R for renting of motor vehicles. For renting of motor vehicles, what are the exemptions that we have seen? 4 exemptions we saw. Recollect. I have a motor vehicle which can carry more than 12 passengers given on rent to a state road transport undertaking. Another motor vehicle. Which motor vehicle? Electric motor vehicle. More than 12 passengers. 2. Awesome. Local authority. Number 3. Motor vehicle that can carry goods to a GTA. Next one. I have a bus which I am giving on rent to a person, not to education institution. Be careful. Not to education institution. Yesterday also one student asked me that. So to education institution means exempted as or no. I am providing bus on rent to a person. That person is providing transportation service to education institution up to 12th standard. Then only my rent will be exempted. Suppose if I give the bus on rent directly to the education institution, there is no exemption here. Got it? That is these 4 exemptions. In other cases, it will be taxable. What are the conditions for RCM? This also I told you yesterday while discussing one circular. I told you, again I will repeat it. Supplier should be other than body corporate. Who is a body corporate? Company, any private limited or public limited, or a body under any law like RBI, SEBI, ICAI, ICSI, ICMA, all these are coming under body corporates. Is it clear? whether LLP is a body corporate. No, LLP is a firm under GST. LLP is not a body corporate under GST. LLP will come under firm. So what is the first condition? See there, supplier should be other than body corporate. Recipient should be body corporate. And how much should be the rate mentioned in the invoice? 5%. If all these three conditions satisfied, then RCM. If any one condition not satisfied, that's it. If any one condition not satisfied, it will be FCM. Understood here this? Yes, I, R. Then next one, renting of immovable property. Now concentrate. Renting of immovable property. For residential property, I told you two exemptions yesterday. What are those two exemptions? Don't see there. You try to recollect. Residential property given on rent to a residential, for residential purpose to an unregistered person. Second one, renting of residential property for residential purpose to a registered individual for their family stay. Super, these two. And even accommodation is also exempted, correct? What is that? Minimum 90 days, maximum, subject to maximum 20,000 per month per person. Okay, next, see the condition for RCM. The condition for RCM is simple, recipient should be registered. That's the only condition. Recipient should be registered. What if recipient is unregistered? It will come under FCM. Sir, it is exempted now, sir. Residential property means exempted, but commercial property need not be exempted. Is it clear or not? And residential property for commercial purpose also need not be exempted. Residential property for residential purpose is only exempted. So be careful. I have a house. That house I am giving it to an advocate to function his office, or I am giving it to a chartered accountant to open his office. Now is it for residential purpose I am giving? No, for commercial purpose. Exemption not available. If exemption needs to be available, I should have given it for what purpose? A residential purpose. Is it clear? And that is this. Recipient is registered, whether renting is for residential or commercial. What if it is renting for commercial purpose to unregistered person? Then it is FCM, because in order to bring it under RCM, the recipient should be registered. Is it clear? Now, there are in total how many combinations that is possible for residential property? Say this. For residential property, if you see residential property, first you need to check, no need to write, just this is application only. Already you learned that I am making you understand. The residential property can be for what purpose? It can be for residential purpose. Residential purpose, and that may be given to a, residential purpose, that may be given to a unregistered person. So supplier and recipient. Supplier also registered, recipient also registered. What is your answer? Residential property for residential purpose to a registered person. What is your answer? Exempted. Sir, individual only exempted, sir. Individual for family stay. Read the book. Individual for family stay is only exempted. Otherwise, it will be taxable. Correct? Otherwise, it will be taxable. Carefully read there. For residential purpose to a registered person. Only if they are registered person is an individual. For family stay, it is exempted. Otherwise, it will be taxable. Correct? Next. What if it is residential purpose only to by registered person to unregistered person? Supplier is registered, recipient is unregistered. Residential purpose only. What is your answer? Very good, exempted, because it is given to an unregistered person. Then same, residential purpose only, supplier is unregistered, recipient is registered. Same as one. Correct or not? So whether the supplier is registered or unregistered, it is not going to change. It is the same. And suppose if it is both are unregistered, then No GST. Don't write as exempted. There is no GST. Both are exempted. Don't write as exempted. Be careful. You need to write as no GST. Okay. There is a big difference. Exempted means it should be specifically given. It is not exempted. GST is not possible because both are unregistered. You got it? Understood this? This is when, if it is a residential property for residential purpose. What if it is a commercial purpose? If it is for commercial purpose, if it is for commercial purpose by a registered person to a registered person, what is your answer? Taxable. For commercial purpose, we don't have any exemption. Taxable under FCM or RCM? Why, pa? Why? Because recipient is registered. That's why it will come under RCM. Suppose if it is commercial purpose only by registered person to unregistered person, then the moment it is commercial, taxable. Got it? Commercial taxable. You understood or not? Don't read further. Commercial taxable. So taxable. Taxable under FCM. Why FCM, pa? Because the recipient is unregistered. Then next, suppose if it is commercial purpose by an unregistered person, okay, to registered person, then taxable. And where it will come? RCM. Why RCM? Because the recipient is then commercial purpose by unregistered person to unregistered person. Very good. There is no GST because both are unregistered. Sir, you said commercial means taxable. Correct. Commercial is taxable only. But one more point we need to check. What is that? The person paying GST should be registered. Otherwise, there is no GST na. So that's why there is no GST. Is it clear? So that is this. Next, let's see commercial property. You understood residential property? I divided it into total, 4 combinations here. First, I told you residential purpose. Depending upon that, the taxability or exemption will change. Commercial purpose also, depending upon that, the taxability or exemption will change. Okay, sir. So can you simplify it further? Yes, I can definitely simplify. Why not? Residential property. Residential property. If you want, you can make note of this. Residential property. Now this residential property can be divided into two. Residential property can be divided into two. Residential purpose or commercial purpose. Residential purpose or commercial purpose. Residential purpose or commercial purpose. Okay. And if it is commercial purpose, what is your answer? Always taxable. Always taxable. Okay. Now, total 4 combinations possible. What is it? 4 combinations. RP to RP, RP to URP, then URP to RP, URP to URP. Tell me what is the charge? It is taxable only, pa. The moment it is commercial purpose, it is taxable only. But depending upon this, it will change. To RP, to URP, to RP, to URP to URP, over, got it? Residential property, commercial purpose, taxable, depending upon, the situation, it will change. Okay. Then, next, residential property for residential purpose. In this case, we have exemptions, 3 exemptions, correct? 3 exemptions we have here, and in remaining cases it will be taxable, correct? 3 exemptions we have, in remaining cases it will be taxable. So therefore, what we are trying to understand is that to whom we are giving it on rent, whether it is to registered person or to unregistered person. Rather than remembering like that, you remember what are the cases it is exempted, exemptions, and other cases taxable, other cases taxable, simple. Got it? You remember exemptions, Other cases it will be taxable. What are the three exemptions that we have? 2 URP, correct? Then 2 registered individual for family stay. Next, accommodation greater than or equals to 90 days, less than or equals to 20,000 per month per person. 3 exemptions: 2 URP, 2 registered individual for family stay, accommodation greater than or equals to 90 days, less than or equals to 20,000 per month. Other cases it will be taxable. In this, just 2 divisions, that is to RP, that is definitely other cases when it is taxable, it will be coming under RCM. Why sir it will come under RCM? Simple. If it is to unregistered person, it is exempted now. Then we are talking about only registered person. So therefore it will be RCM. Simple. Over. Okay. Yes sir. But the moment when the recipient is unregistered, RCM is not applicable. The condition for RCM, you see, condition for RCM itself is recipient should be registered, then only RCM itself is applicable. Got it? Not that by default it is RCM. If by default it is RCM and if the recipient is not registered, they need to register. That is import of service we discussed. Import of service by default RCM. But here only if recipient is registered, it is RCM. In that case, don't apply compulsory registration. Clear here? Can you remember? If you are not getting a question on this, call me. Okay. Call me and speak anything, I listen. See, residential property, commercial purpose will be taxable, and RP to RP RCM, RP to URP FCM, URP to RP RCM, URP to URP no GST. That's over. Then residential purpose, we have 3 exemptions. One is to unregistered person, second is to registered individual for family stay, accommodation greater than or equals to 20 days, less than or equals to 20,000 per month per person, and in other case it will be always taxable under RCM. But this only if you want, you remember like this, otherwise not required. Better way will be this only. This table is only better way. What is that? First, 2 cases it is exempted. Even this point is also applicable for residential property. In other cases it will be taxable. Condition for RCM, recipient should be registered. Otherwise it will be FCM. Make it simple. Okay. Then commercial property. For commercial property we have only one exemption. What is that one exemption? That accommodation point. Property is commercial. Property is commercial. So that only one exemption, accommodation service is only exempted. And what is the condition for RCM? Newly added part. This is newly added. What is the condition for RCM? Supplier should be unregistered and recipient should be registered. What if supplier is registered? It will be FCM. Is it clear? Commercial property, only one case it is exempted, darling. What is that? Less than or equals to 20,000 per month and greater than or equals to 90 days. In other cases it will be taxable. Wherever it is taxable, just 2 conditions you need to check. What is the 2 conditions? Supplier should be unregistered, recipient should be registered, then only RCM. Otherwise it will be FCM. If supplier is registered, it will be FCM. So we completed renting of immobile property also. So then SIRR we completed. Now look into copyright services. In case of copyright, we have original literary. Original literary means author who is writing novels, books, articles, etc. That is original literary. Then dramatic works. Dramatic works means story, screenplay, writings, that. Okay. Then musical works. Musical works means music directors who compose the music. Artistic works means paintings, drawings, design, sculptures, etc. That is this. And all this should be by an individual. All this should be by an individual. then it will be coming under RCM. So is there any exemption? All the 4 places you see there is no exemption. What are the 4 copyrights covered? Original literary, dramatic, musical, artistic works. And always RCM, we don't have any exemption. Do we have any condition for RCM? No. But only in one place we have an exception to RCM. Where is that? Author. Author can opt to pay GST under FCM. If author opt to pay GST under FCM, for the next 1 year from the date of exercising the option, author only will pay GST under FCM. Why will an author opt to pay GST under FCM when the transaction is covered under RCM? Because when the transaction is covered under RCM, the author cannot take ITC on his inward supply. For example, I am an author. I am giving my book to a publisher. Now I will receive a royalty. Now I will buy the laptop, tab, or receive softwares, or take immovable property on rent, receive copyright services, desktop services, etc. and all. Now, all these inward supplies, if I want ITC, I only should pay GST. If my outward supply is covered under RCM, I cannot take ITC. Is it clear? For that reason, I will opt to pay GST under FCM. But what is the disadvantage of opting for FCM? For the next 1 year from the date of exercising the option, I only should pay GST under FCM. I cannot shift to RCM option. But RCM option to FCM option possible. Anytime it is possible. But FCM option to RCM option, minimum 1 year lock-in. So next 1 year only FCM. If author opts to pay GST under FCM, lock-in period. Lock-in means what? So locked. For next 1 year, they only should pay GST under FCM. 1 year from the date of exercising the option. Next. Look into the next one, G. GTA services. Come on, recollect what are the exemptions that we learned for GTA services? Notified goods. What are those notified goods? 6 notified goods. Agricultural produce, food grains, including flours, pulses, milk and salt, organic manure, newspapers and magazines, relief material for natural and man-made disasters, defense and military equipment. These 6. Next, second exemption, if the recipient is individual, HUF, AJP or a trust, and they are unregistered. Unregistered means unregistered under GST, okay, and they are not having factory. Then third, if the recipient is registered only for deducting TDS. Say this, recipient is registered only to deduct TDS. In these 3 cases, it is exempted. Other cases, GTA services will be taxable. Wherever GTA service is taxable, so they have 2 options. This point also I told you yesterday. What is that? FCM option or RCM option. If it is FCM option, again they have 2 rates. What are the 2 rates? Come on. 12% with ITC or 5% without ITC. If it is RCM, always 5%. And they need to decide it for every financial year. When they need to decide it? Last quarter, that is January 1st to 31st March. You can see that. If GTA opts for FCM, lock-in period, financial year, that is financial year wise they need to decide whether FCM or RCM. Option to be exercised between 1st Jan to 31st March of the preceding financial year. And you remember a assumption for these 2 cases, author case and GTA case, if the question is silent, by default RCM. Is it clear? RCM, that is option is there na. Only in the question in exam, if they give that they have opted for FCM, it will be FCM. Otherwise, what will be the default option? The default option will be always RCM option. Is it clear? Then next one. Look into government services. Whenever we are referring to government services to business entities, we also include parliament, state legislature, and court or tribunal service also. But sir, court or tribunal service is excluded from supply, na? Correct. But court or tribunal may do other services apart from court or tribunal, like renting of immovable property. Court premises will be given on rent for a telecom company to keep a telecom tower, and given on rent to a canteen person to run a canteen in the court. So all these renting is not excluded from supply. Only court fees or tribunal fees is excluded from supply. So that is also covered under RCM. Read this. Government services to business entities, including service of parliament, state legislature, court or tribunal. See the note. In case of court or tribunal, it is service other than legal fees, that is renting. And in this case of government service, yesterday we discussed 14 specific exemptions and 2 general exemptions. In other cases, it will be taxable. Correct? Yesterday only we discussed, again no need to repeat that. And in other cases, it will be taxable. And what is the condition for RCM? We don't have any condition for RCM. Non-applicability of RCM. Remember pa, in 5 cases, government only will pay GST under FCM. RCM is not applicable. What are they? If you recollect, one chart we discussed yesterday. First one is what? Department of Post. Next, railways. Next, transportation. Next, airport or port. Correct? In other service only we discussed 14 exemptions. First 4 is there na? No RCM. So that is Department of Post, transportation of goods or passengers, airport or port, Indian Railways. You got it? Next, in the 5th one, renting of immobile property to unregistered business entity, then also it will be FCM. So tell me, what are the 5 cases where government services will come under FCM? First, renting of immobile property to unregistered business entity. Next, those 4. Department of Post, Indian Railways, transportation of goods or passengers, airport or port services. Got it? Then next one, GO, O for overseeing committee to RBI. There is a overseeing committee which is providing services to RBI, and on that commission whatever they get, they only will pay GST. Whether anywhere we have discussed exemption for this? No. So therefore always it will be taxable. And any condition for RCM? No. Non-applicability of RCM also we don't have anything. Clear? Then T, TDR FSI long-term lease. Whether we discussed any exemption for this? Just now. Today only we discussed. What is that? Proportionate to what is exempted. Residential units booked before completion certificate or first occupation divided by total area. Total area. Proportionate exemption to booked before completion certificate or first occupation, whichever is earlier. Do we have any condition for RCM? No. Non-applicability of RCM also we don't have anything. Clear? So we completed Sir, CG, got. So this fast we discussed. You know why? Not that I am going fast. Because exemptions we discussed this. This is like a repetition for us. Okay. So you also, when you are revising, first revise exemption chapter and then see this so that you will understand it better. Then yes, for sponsorship. For sponsorship, any exemption we discussed yesterday? Yes, what is that? Sponsorship money collected by a recognized sports body is exempted. Very good. In other cases, it will be taxable. And what is the condition for RCM? This also I told you. Recipient should be body, corporate or firm. Then only it will be RCM. Otherwise, it will be FCM. Say this. Sponsorship services, condition for RCM, recipient should be body, corporate or firm. Otherwise, it will be FCM. Then agent services. Agent services, total 5 agents are there. First one, insurance agent. Insurance agent to insurance company. Do we have any exemption for insurance agent to insurance company? Yes. Business facilitator or business correspondent working in rural area is exempted. Other case it will be taxable, and we don't have any condition for RCM, non-applicability of RCM. Done. Next, recovery agent to bank, financial institution or NBFC. So this recovery agent, who is recovery agent? So recently one movie also got released, Kudumbastan, like that one movie. In that movie, that person will take 20,000 rupees loan. When he takes 20,000 rupees loan, the recovery agent, one call center fellow, he will call everyone to their family members. You would have seen that particular scene, and it is there in OTT platform also. Nice movie, you watch that. Okay, not now, after exam. And that, wherein these people are called as recovery agents. What they do is that they take all the contacts of yours. How? The moment when you give access to your phone, okay, everything will be going there. iPhone or Android, now nothing like that. Everything, even in iPhone also, there is one option, ask app to track, like that one option will come. Without knowing, if you click on allow, enough. Once if you click on allow, then completely they will be tracking entire data from the phone. So therefore, be careful when you install any app, and these contacts they will get, they will somehow ensure that they torture us and they recover the money, because they get a commission for that. On that commission they will pay GST, or bank will pay GST, bank will pay GST. Is there any exemption? No exemption. Any condition for RCM? No. Non-applicability of RCM also no. This point already once it has been tested in exam. There is a recovery agent appointed by a dealer, one car dealer, okay, for which they get a commission. Taxable or exempted? Taxable. And it is FCM or RCM? FCM. Only to bank, financial institution, NBFC it will be RCM, otherwise it will be FCM. Then next, direct selling agent to bank or NBFC. What a direct selling agent will do? Marketing. They do the marketing of banking products. They also get a commission. It is taxable. We don't have any exemption. But there is one condition for RCM. That supplier should be other than body corporate or firm. Means what? They should be individuals, etc. And then only RCM, bank will pay. If the supplier direct selling agent is body corporate or firm, let they only pay GST. Okay. So if supplier is body corporate or firm, they will only pay. Otherwise only it will be RCM. Next one, business facilitator to a banking company. There is a business facilitator who is providing services to a banking company, and it will be covered under RCM. Okay. So this business facilitator to banking company, one exemption we studied. What is that exemption? If the business facilitator is working in a rural area, then it will be exempted. Is it clear or not? And other case it will be taxable. Any condition for RCM? No. Non-applicability of RCM also nothing. Then agent of business correspondent, not business correspondent. Sir, who are this business facilitator and business correspondent? Agents. Agents. What work they will do? Business facilitators will do some nominal works, small works. Business correspondent will do lot of works. Business facilitator will do only money remittance, like taking money and remitting money, they get a commission, etc. But business correspondent will do account opening, loan processing, check collection, like this, all those works business correspondents will do. So business facilitators and correspondents are agents. And here if you see RCM is only for business facilitator, not for business correspondent, whereas agent of business correspondent to business correspondent is covered under RCM. Here also, if they are working in rural area, then it will be exempted. And any condition for RCM? No. Non-applicability of RCM also we don't have anything. Related to this, you can make note of two charts. Okay, kindly make note of these two charts in your book somewhere. If the last page you have space, you write down. If not, you write in your notebook. Okay. Say this. There is a banking company. There is a banking company, and this banking company is having rural area branch. This banking company is having rural area branch and urban area branch. There is a banking company which is having rural area branch and urban area branch. Rural area branch, urban area branch. And they appointed business facilitator. They appointed business facilitator. Mr. A is appointed for rural area, Mr. B for urban area. Mr. A for rural area, Mr. B for urban area. Now, Mr. A provides the services, to rural area branch, for which rural area branch will pay commission. For which rural area branch will pay commission. What is the treatment of this commission, boss? Exempted. Rural area, so exempted. And urban area branch, Mr. B provides services. business facilitator provides services to urban area branch, for which urban area branch will give commission, and this commission is taxable under RCM. Then who will pay GST on this commission? Banking company will pay GST on this commission. Banking company will pay GST on this commission. Next, there will be agent of business facilitator. You finished up to this? There is an agent of business facilitator, and don't worry about these notes, whatever I am scribbling here, everything will be available in our YouTube channel below the description. Okay, so in case if you missed writing anything, okay, don't worry, it will be there. So you can go to our YouTube channel, daily live is going on. In the description, we will share in the Google Drive these notes, okay, whatever notes that I am writing, like the day wise only I am writing the notes. So this will be shared with you, don't worry. In case if you are not making note, if you make note then and there it will be over, that's why. Okay, agent of business facilitator. Agent of business facilitator, what they will do? Agent of business facilitator will provide the services to business facilitator. Say Mr. X is appointed as agent of A and Mr. Y is appointed as agent of B, and X provided services to A. X provided services to A, for which A received commission. What is the treatment of this commission? Tell me here. What is the treatment of this commission? This commission is exempted. This commission is exempted. Why? Because the main agent commission is exempted. So this agent commission is also exempted. Then Mr. Y provides the services to Mr. B. Mr. Y will provide services to Mr. B, and for which services? For this services, Mr. Y receives commission, and this commission will be taxable. Is it FCM or RCM? Carefully see the list. Is it FCM or RCM? It is not in RCM. So therefore it will be FCM. Then who will pay GST? The agent of business facilitator will only pay GST. Now, from this you can conclude 2 points. What is the 2 points? Business facilitator, agent of business facilitator earning commission from rural area is exempted, and business facilitator will never pay GST on their outward supplies and inward supplies. On their outward supplies, who is paying? Banking company is paying. On their inward supply, who is paying? Agent of business facilitator is paying. Okay, so please write down the conclusion. Conclusion: BF or agent of BF, business facilitator, BF or agent of BF earning commission in rural area is exempted. Earning commission in rural area is exempted. Earning commission in rural area is exempted. Next point. BF shall never pay GST to government. Business facilitator shall never pay GST to government. Correct? Because on their outward supplies, who is paying? Banking company is paying. On their inward supply, who is paying? Agent of business facilitator is paying. Okay. Next. Now, let's see another chart. In this another chart, we are taking banking company, same rural area branch, the same type of chart you draw, rural area branch, but this is now for business correspondent. Banking company, rural area branch, urban area branch, banking company, rural area branch, urban area branch. and there is a business correspondent, say Mr. A, Mr. B. Instead of business facilitator, they are business correspondent. A will provide services to rural area branch for which A receive commission. As usual, this commission is exempted. As usual, this commission is exempted. Whereas B provides services to urban area branch and for which B receives commission, and as usual this commission is taxable, but it will come under FCM, not RCM. Business correspondent is not there in RCM, which means who will pay GST? Business correspondent only will pay GST. That is the slight change. That is the slight change. If you see above chart, business facilitator means banking company will pay, but in this chart business correspondent means business correspondent is only paying. Then agent of business correspondent. So this part you finished. Agent of business correspondent. Agent of business correspondent. This agent of business correspondent say Mr. X, Mr. Y. Mr. X is providing services to Mr. A. Agent of business correspondent. X is providing services to A. As usual, whatever commission that X gets, that commission will be exempted. That commission is exempted. Same way, Mr. Y provides services to Mr. B. Mr. Y provided services to Mr. B, for which Mr. B receives commission, and this commission is taxable, but it will come under RCM, where you can see last point, agent of business correspondent to business correspondent. So it will be RCM, means GST payable by business correspondent. So tell me what is the change that you can find in this. Business correspondent is only paying GST on both inward supplies and outward supplies. Is it clear? So 2 points here also conclusion. 2 points here also conclusion. What are the 2 points? BC or agent of BC, business correspondent or agent of business correspondent, earning commission from rural area is exempted. Earning commission from rural area is exempted. Same like above. Got it? Then next point, BC shall always pay GST. Shall always pay GST. Correct? Because if you see their outward supplies also they are paying. On their inward supplies also they are only paying. BC shall always pay GST. So what are the 4 points that you need to remember? Conclusion. Point number 1, business facilitator, agent of business facilitator earning commission from rural area exempted. Business facilitator shall never pay GST on outward supply, inward supply. Third point, business correspondent, agent of business correspondent earning commission from rural area is exempted. Business correspondent shall always pay GST on outward supplies and inward supplies. Okay, this is what you need to remember. Now come back to this. So we completed agent services. Then advocate services and arbitrator services. Can you tell me what are the exemptions we have discussed? Yesterday we discussed and we did concept drills and all on this. So tell me what are the exemptions for individual advocate and firm of advocate. Number 1, if they provide services to individual. Number 2, government or government authority, government entity. Number 3, business entity whose turnover during previous year does not exceed threshold limit. Number 4, another individual advocate or firm of advocate. But for senior advocate and arbitrator we have only 3 exemptions. Only 3. What are they? To individual, to government and to business entity whose turnover during previous year does not exceed threshold limit. Those points only I have repeated it here. Is it clear? Those points only you can see here. And in other cases, advocate service will be taxable. And I told you this point. Always advocate service will come under RCM. No condition. So no exceptions. Is it clear? Advocate and arbitrator. Next one. D. Director services to company or body corporate. There is a director who is providing service to company or body corporate. First of all, if the director is an employee of the company, what is your answer? Not a supply. Why not a supply? Because employee to employer in the course of employment. How you know the director is an employee of the company? TDS under section 192. Very good. If the director is an employee of the company or body corporate, then it is not a supply. Otherwise, director service will come under RCM. Any condition for RCM? No. But is there any exception? Yes. Concentrate. If the director is providing service in his personal capacity, example, I am a director of a company and I receive the sitting fees for participating in the board meetings, that is in the capacity as a director. On the sitting fees, I will not pay GST, but my company or body corporate will pay GST under RCM. However, I own a immobile property. That immobile property I will give on rent to the company. Now don't interpret it as director service. You see it as renting of immobile property service. Is it clear or not? Again, I am a chartered accountant and I will be providing services not in the capacity as a director but in the capacity as a chartered accountant. Then don't see it as director service, see it as chartered accountant service. Is it clear or not? So we need to see from personal capacity point of view if it is other than director services. Okay, so director providing service in personal or private capacity will not come under RCM. Last one, security agency services. For security agency services, do we have any exemption? One exemption is there for security agency services. What is that? Very good. So security agency services and housekeeping services within premises to category 1 education institution. What is category 1 education institution? Education institution up to 12th standard or equivalent. Security agency service within premises provided to education institution providing education up to 12th standard or equivalent is exempted. Got it? Next, two conditions for RCM. What are the two conditions for RCM? Supplier should be other than body corporate. In other place also it is there. Where? Renting of motor vehicle. Supplier should be other than body corporate and recipient should be registered, not body corporate. Changed. Recipient should be registered but not opting for composition scheme and not registered only to deduct TDS. Then in that case it will be RCM. What are the two conditions? Supplier should be other than body corporate. Recipient should be registered but not opting for composition scheme or not registered only to deduct TDS. If any one condition is not satisfied, it will be coming under FCM. That's it here. These are the list of services which are covered under RCM. Understood? Now, so we will also complete other areas in this, and afternoon session we will discuss concept drill questions, so that will be like a revision of all these things. Is it clear? Now look into section 9 subsection 4, purchases from an unregistered person. This is an area which is not at all tested in exam so far, and I don't think so also they will be making a question on this, because from 2018 I am seeing the question paper, they are not asking any question on this, and even ICI, I doubt whether they know that it is there in syllabus or not. They might have forgot that it is there in syllabus. So due to that reason, this area we will learn, okay, but no need to spend more time on this etc and all. You should be knowing what you need to do, okay. So don't go too much into the details etc and all. I'll give you little bit background about it. Simple. There is a promoter or builder who is purchasing from an unregistered person. Will he pay GST or he will not pay GST? You are buying from an unregistered person, pa. Will you pay GST or you will not pay GST? Correct? Means loss of revenue to government or not? So government is asking you to pay GST under RCM. What if you buy from a registered person? Already you paid to that registered person, so no need to pay GST under RCM. Is that clear? So this is applicable to whom? This is applicable to whom? Only to a promoter or builder. So see this, inward supplies of a promoter or builder. From whom? Unregistered person. Then only this section is applicable, correct or not? So promoter or builder, what is that they are purchasing? They may purchase capital goods, they may purchase cement, or they may purchase other inputs and input services, correct? If they buy capital goods, check whether they purchased from a registered person or unregistered person. If they purchased from a registered person, no issue. Why no issue? Already you paid GST Nayar to that person. So why you need to again pay GST under RCM? So GST not payable under RCM. Got it? Suppose if you buy capital goods, what capital goods promoter or builder will buy? What capital goods? Concrete mixer. Bricks is not capital goods, that is inputs, no. And that is crane, JCB, bulldozers, or this what is that, machines to break the building, okay, and the drilling machines, or they will erect the temporary lifts for the purpose of taking the cement, concrete, etc. to the top floor. All these are capital goods, got it? If they buy from an unregistered person, what is the treatment? Whether they paid GST to supplier? No. So therefore, they need to pay GST under RCM. At what rate? Simple, at the rate applicable to capital goods. You understood this part, pa? So you are a step into the shoes of a promoter or builder. You are a promoter or builder. What you are doing first? Purchasing from an unregistered person. What you are purchasing? Capital goods. What you should do? Pay GST under RCM at the rate applicable to capital goods. Why you should pay GST under RCM? Because you did not buy from registered person. Had you purchased from registered person, you would have paid GST, the revenue would have received by the government. Government badly needs revenue on real estate sector. They can't lose the revenue on real estate sector. That's why they brought in this point. Is it clear? Next, because real estate sector means definitely a person who is buying a building is luxury or necessity? Luxury. Then they can afford GST also, correct or not? For that reason, let's pay GST. That is the idea behind it. Next, suppose if you buy cement, you are a promoter or builder, you buy cement. You buy cement from an unregistered person. If you buy from a registered person, already you paid, na? So no need to pay any GST under RCM. What if you buy cement from an unregistered person? You need to pay GST under RCM. At what rate? 28% is the rate applicable to cement. So they cannot lose it. So 28% you need to pay under RCM. Is it clear? So come on, step 1. Capital goods. Purchase from a registered person. Ignore. Purchase from unregistered person. Pay GST under RCM at the rate applicable to capital goods. Cement. Purchase from a. Ignore. Purchase from a. So you need to pay GST under RCM at. Awesome, yaar. Next one. Balance purchases from a unregistered person. What balance? Inputs and input services. They are telling it's okay, 20% we will allow you to buy from an unregistered person, because we cannot put a condition that 100% needs to be purchased from registered. So 20% we will allow. Beyond 20% and all, if you are buying from unregistered person, you have to pay GST under RCM at 18%. Is it clear? So now you see what is the balance inputs and input services from an unregistered person divided by total inputs and input services. Total inputs and input services. Again I am repeating, balance inputs and input service from an unregistered person divided by total inputs and input services. While taking this total inputs and input service only to be taken, and you need to exclude few things. What are the few things that you need to exclude? See there. Cement should be included. That is also one of the input. What should be excluded? TDR FSI long term lease. Why TDR FSI long term lease needs to be excluded? Because it's already covered under 9.3. Anyhow I am paying GST under RCM, correct or not? Turn the page and see whether TDR FSI long term lease is there. GOT, T for TDR FSI long term lease. Anyhow I am paying under 9.3, then again no need to pay under 9.4. That's why it is excluded. Are you getting this? Next. Electricity. Why electricity is excluded? Electricity is what? Naturally when you buy it, so there is no GST at all on that. So supplier will not be a registered person. Am I right? Then next, continue. Petrol, diesel, natural gas. Why? Non-taxable. Anyhow, there is no GST on that. Why alcoholic liquor is not given? That is also non-taxable only. No. That is no way connected to construction. Whether we construct a building using alcohol or what. Good idea only, so that whenever they want to drink building and they will lick, so that they will get the alcohol, etc. and all. And that kind of philosophy is not there here, and due to that reason alcohol is no way connected. Crude oil, no way connected, and aviation turbine fuel, no way connected. That's why that is not given. Whatever is connected, petrol, diesel used in the mixers and generators, which is used in construction. Natural gas is used for welding, gas welding. So that's why it is given. Okay. So what are the 5 things which are excluded? Come on. TDR, FSI, long term lease, electricity, petrol, diesel, natural gas. Take out. Now you see the ratio. Balance from unregistered person by total. If it is up to 20%, no need to pay GST under RCM. Why? Because it is allowed. It is allowed here, it is allowed. Up to 20% it is allowed. What if it is beyond 20%, say 28% or 26%? Then excess how much? Excess how much? 6%. On that 6%, you need to pay GST at what rate? 18%. Say this. GST payable under RCM on the excess over 20% at what rate? 18%. GST under section 9 subsection 4. Is it clear? And this computation should be made on a yearly basis or up to project completion date, and computation shall be made separately for each project. Means this computation and all we need to see on a yearly basis. What is the meaning of up to project completion date? For example, if the construction takes 8 months only, then for 8 months you do. GST computation shall be made separately for each project. GST payable yearly at the time of filing annual return. So this GST we will not pay monthly. This we will pay on a yearly basis at the time of filing annual return. That is this points. Now, if at all you get a question, you will get a question like this. Okay, you will get a question like this. Say this. So 90% there is no possibility. 10% if the paper setter is a psycho, he can give. Definitely there is a possibility. That's why I thought like a psycho and I have included this question, maybe worst come scenario. Because suppose if this concept and all comes now, you will scold my 10 generations before and all. Say this, a promoter has procured following goods and services for construction of a residential real estate project during a financial year. So name of input goods and in services, sand, cement, steel, bricks, like that, lot of goods details are given. Please concentrate, pa. If you are concentrating, we can complete it sooner. That's why. Okay. Rate of GST is also given. Value of inward supply received during the financial year. Now it is whether received from a registered person or not. Yes means yes, it is received from registered person. Otherwise, N means not received from a registered person. And that this alone, manpower supply is a question mark. See the question below. Compute GST payable under 9394 in the following cases. Manpower supply is received from a registered person. Manpower supply is received from a unregistered person. So, suppose if manpower supply is from a registered person, let's take this as yes. Can we do the question? Yes. Close this book or keep that book. Question also it is okay. If the question is visible in the screen, it's okay. Otherwise, you can see the book. Open your notebook. Don't see the answer in this. Please open the notebook. We will do the answer. Answer I have given, but I want you to try. So, please open the notebook. Step 1 is what here? Capital goods, correct? Check in the list, we have capital goods. Check in the list, we have capital goods. Yes, capital goods we have. Whether purchased from a registered person or unregistered person, unregistered person. It is given as N, means purchased from a unregistered person. So, what we need to do? We need to pay GST under RCM. Write down. Step number 1, capital goods. Step number 1, capital goods. equals to, how much is the value of capital goods? 40 lakhs into what is the rate of GST? 12%. 40 lakhs into 12%, 4,80,000. 4,80,000. Next one. After step 1 capital goods, what is step 2? Cement. So go to cement, second point, cement. Cement, whether purchased from registered or unregistered? Unregistered. So we need to pay, N is given, means unregistered. So we need to pay GST under RCM. At what rate? 28%. So 15 lakhs into 28%. Write down step 2, cement equals to 15 lakhs into 28%. 4,20,000. Correct? Next, other inputs and input services from unregistered person. Other than cement, what else is? And don't count FSI. Why you should not count FSI, pa? FSI, electricity, you should not count in this. Why? Anyhow, that is excluded, correct or not? Remaining you see from unregistered person. Only one, flooring tiles, correct? Capital goods you considered, cement you considered. What else is from an unregistered person? Only one, that is flooring tiles. And what is the value of the flooring tiles? 10 lakhs. So write down step 3. Step 3, balance from URP, divided by total inputs and input services, balance from URP. Here and write. Listen and write. Okay, listen and write. Don't see, nothing I am writing. So please listen and write. Balance from URP divided by total inputs and input services into 100. Into 100 equal to. What is the balance from URP? 10. 10, only 10. Because we don't have anything else in the list. Only 10. Divided by total. While doing the total, don't take capital goods, don't take FSI, electricity. You see remaining total, just do the sum. Take calculator and do the sum. 10 plus 15, 25 plus 20 plus 15 plus 10 plus 5 plus 10 plus 20 plus 150 up to this. Sorry, plus 15 up to this. How much? 120 lakhs. Correct? If you take calculator, press the numbers you will get. Trust me, it is 120 only. You don't have calculator, no. Divided by 120. GST exam requires calculator. You have to take and go, okay. Divided by 120. It's okay. Trust me, it is 120 only. Divided by 120 into 100. What is 10 divided by 120 into 100? At least mobile you will have, na. In that also you can calculate. 8.33%. 8.33%. And 8.33% is less than or equals to 20%. So are we required to pay any GST? No, we don't have to pay any GST under RCM on this. Got it? Right there. So 10 divided by 120 into 100, 8.33% less than or equals to 20% hyphen no GST. Now do the total. What is the total GST payable under RCM 9.4? Total GST payable under RCM 9 subsection 4 equals to 9 lakhs. Total GST payable under RCM 9.4 equals to 9 lakhs. They are asking 9.3 also. Which one is 9.3? FSI. In this list only FSI is 9.3. So next line, GST payable under 9.3. GST payable under section 9.3. That is 5 lakhs into 18%, 90,000. Got it? This is the answer for the first part of the question. If manpower supply is received from a registered person. Now, let's do if manpower supply is from a unregistered person. If manpower supply is from a unregistered person, then what will happen? Come on. Can we start again? Again step 1. Same Step 1, capital goods. Same na? Same. How much? 40 lakhs into 12%, 4,80,000. Step 1, capital goods, 40 lakhs into 12%, 4,80,000. No change in that. Next step 2. What is step 2? Cement. Cement purchased from a unregistered person. So cement, step 2 cement. How much is the value of cement? 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs into 28%. 15 lakhs into 28%, 4,20,000. Same. Now step 3. What is the balance from unregistered person? What is the balance from unregistered person? Now 2. That 10 plus 20. Flooring tiles also, manpower supply also. Manpower supply also. This is also from an unregistered person. Now total how much? 30. Write down. Balance from URP. Balance from URP divided by total inputs and input services into 100. Balance from URP. Balance from URP divided by total inputs and input services into 100. Okay. Equals to how much? 30 divided by 120 into 100. 25%, which is greater than 20%. I am making you write for one reason. You should get to know how to arrive at the answer. Okay. And don't be lazy. What I am asking to write is only few things. That also, if you are not writing, definitely you will not get first night in your life. Curse. Okay. So Goyala. Solra eludama ukkandu irukkinga. So 30 divided by 120 into 100, 25%, which is greater than 20%. What is the excess? 5%. What is the GST payable under RCM? 18%. So write down 120 lakhs into, see, 5% only extra na. 5% of what? 120 lakhs. Total 120 pa. 120 lakhs into 5% into, on that what is the rate of GST? 18%. Ayya, total 120 lakhs. In that 5% is only excess. So into 5%. On that, what is the rate of GST? 18%. So 120 lakhs into 5% into 18%. Do that. 1,08,000. So total GST payable under section 9(4). Total GST payable under section 9(4), 10,08,000. 10,08,000. First 9 lakhs, 4,20,000 plus 4,80,000 plus 1,08,000. So 10,08,000. 9(3) will be same. GST payable under section 9(3) same. What is that? 90,000. That is 5 lakhs into 18%, 90,000. Okay. 90,000. That's it. This is the answer for that. Answer is already there in the book. You can see that answer later, but already we did the computation related to this. Now look into section 9 subsection 5, page number 38. So we completed 9.3, we completed 9.4. Now we will see 9 subsection 5. Concentrate. Liability to pay GST on e-commerce operator in case of notified services. So there are total 4 notified services. In case of those 4 notified services, liability to pay GST is on e-commerce operator. What are those 4 notified services? Remember with the mnemonic HATE. H-A-T-E. H for housekeeping services. Example, urban club, quicker, etc. A for accommodation services. Goa, Bibo, make my trip. How can we forget Oyo? Oyo also. Okay. Goa, Bibo, make my trip. And T for transportation of passengers by any type of motor vehicle. Areyar, passengers, not goods, passengers. So porter is there now. Will it come under the list? No. Only transportation of passengers means Ola, Uber, Rapido, Redbus, etc. and all will come into this category. Okay. Other than omnibus by a company. Then, so just remember what is that service? Transportation of passengers. E for eating food from a restaurant. That is Swiggy, Zomato, etc. will come into this list. What are the 4 notified services? H-A-T-E. H for housekeeping services. A for accommodation services. T for transportation of passenger services. E for eating food in a restaurant. Okay, these four are covered under e-commerce operator liability, not RCM. This is not RCM. These four are covered under ECO liability, where liability to pay GST is on e-commerce operator. Understood? Now, supplier will not pay GST. For example, I am a restaurant, I am supplying food through e-commerce operator Swiggy, then Swiggy only will pay GST. I will not pay GST. Is it clear? Same way. So, I am a Ola driver providing transportation through Ola cabs. Now, in this case, Ola cab only will pay GST. I will not pay GST. Same is the case. I am a hotel and I list it through OYO and I will not pay. Hotel owner will not pay. OYO rooms will pay GST. Same way, there is a carpenter who provides service through Urban Clap. Carpenter will not pay GST. The Urban Clap only will pay GST. Are you understanding this? Clear? But we need to understand the conditions now. First, for housekeeping service, what is the condition? Supplier should be unregistered. What if the supplier is registered? It's not covered under 9.5. It's not covered under 9.5 means who will pay GST? Supplier only will pay GST. Is it clear here? So, if supplier is registered, supplier only will pay GST. Then, that is if the carpenter is unregistered, Goibibo will pay. If the carpenter is registered, the carpenter only will pay GST. Then, accommodation service. Accommodation services. Again, here also same. So, that's why I made it like HATE. First two cases, the condition is same that the supplier should be unregistered. Next two cases, the supplier may or may not be registered. Okay. Now, accommodation service also supplier should be unregistered. For example, I have a hotel and that hotel is unregistered, listed through OYO. Who will pay GST? OYO. Suppose if I am registered, listed through OYO, even then I will only pay GST, because if the supplier is registered, supplier only will pay GST. Then next, transportation of passengers by any motor vehicle. Here, supplier may or may not be registered. So, whether the driver is registered or driver is unregistered, or restaurant is registered, restaurant is unregistered, always e-commerce operator only will pay GST. Is that clear or not? Whether driver is registered or not, providing through Ola, Ola only will pay. Whether the restaurant is registered or unregistered, supplying food through Swiggy, Swiggy only will pay. Is that clear? Then, what are the exceptions to these 2 points, T and E? For T point, there is one exception. What is that? If there is a company, company means either private limited company or public limited company, providing transportation of passengers by omnibus. Omnibus means what? Capacity greater than 6 passengers, means 7 passengers. 7 passengers plus 1 driver seat means 8-seater vehicle. What is a 8-seater vehicle means? Innova provided in Innova in the middle row they are giving 3 seats. Innova there are 2 variants. In the middle seat there will be 2 bucket seats. So that first 2, middle 2, last 3 it will come under 7. 7 minus 1. That minus 1, what is that? Driver seat. So passenger seats will be only 6. Exactly 6 is not a omnibus. See there. It's not greater than or equals to 6. Greater than 6. Okay. So, in the middle row if there is 3-seater, definitely that is a omnibus. Is it clear? So, you don't think omnibus means big bus and all. No. Even Innova, Tempo Traveler, Maxi Cab, all these also will come under omnibus. If they provide it through e-commerce operator, say Redbus, etc., who will pay GST? Supplier only will pay GST. Is it clear? Read that. If the transportation is through omnibus by a company, then the company only will pay GST under FCM. So, this e-commerce operator will not come, means it's not covered under 9.5. Same way, for eating food in a restaurant, also one exception is there. There is a restaurant inside a hotel. That hotel is charging room tariff. There is a restaurant. Where is that restaurant? Inside a hotel. What is that hotel? In that hotel, the room tariff, per day room tariff will be greater than 7,500. Per day room tariff greater than 7,500 means definitely it will be a 4-star or 5-star restaurants, correct? And in that restaurant, 4-star, 5-star hotels, in that hotels, for example, Taj Hotel. In Taj Hotel, there is a restaurant. In that restaurant, if a person order food through Swiggy, who will order, sir? Some people are there. Okay. full money they will be having. So lot of money when they have, they can order from anywhere here. They can eat gold and silver also, okay. And therefore, this particular, Taj Hotel, restaurant, they are ordering. Now, who will pay GST? Will e-commerce operator pay GST? No, that restaurant only will pay GST. Is it clear? Read there. If the restaurant is in a specified premises, what is that specified premises? That is a hotel having a declared tariff equal to 7,500 or greater than 7,500. Greater than 7,500 rupees per day. Sir, all rooms are any one room, greater than 7,500 rupees per day. That is a hotel. In that hotel, if there is a restaurant selling food through Swiggy, the restaurant only will pay, e-commerce operator will not pay. Is that clear? This is about section 9 subsection 5. You need to remember these notified services, conditions and non-applicability of 9 subsection 5. Even though it is a notified service, but we have exceptions. In the exceptions cases, supplier only will pay GST. Then we have some important points in this regard, and there is a circular also on restaurant service through e-commerce operator, which is connected to the concept of TCS, TDS and TCS. So we'll take a break, and after break we will continue with the concept of TDS, TCS, and then we will come back to this page and complete. With that, this chapter also will be over, TDS, TCS chapter also will be over.